Here we go. Hey everyone, Alex Jenkins is here again, and I've got another video with you today. I'm going to talk about how I see how Toy Story 3 is very much like Toy Story 2, it's very much Toy Story 2.5 to me. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, no, of course not. It's a terrific prequel, it's brilliant, but I feel like it's a similar movie to Toy Story 2, but very different. They're, like, with the ideas of it, it's very much carried on into 3. And like, it has the themes of the characters all dealing with their own existential crisis. I'm not saying it's a rip-off of number 2. I mean, I think 2 is easily the best of the 5. It's the best of the 4 so far. I mean, we got 5 coming up, but it does deal with their own mortality in 3 in this one, and their existential crisis of where they go next. And they're all worried about, Andy's getting old now, he's moving on to things, where do we go next? So they're all really, as a group, as a family, they're all dealing with this moment in time. And, of course, it's very much similar to how Woody was going through in the second movie, but since we've already seen that arc of him going, Andy needs me, and I'm his ride or die, we're like best friends forever, in a way. He's already been through that, so he's trying to keep his family and friends all straight and like, don't worry, we're gonna be fine. Like I said, we're gonna be in the attic. But then sadly they move towards the trash bag, and they think, and Andy's mom picks it up, and then you're like, oh shit, they're not trash, and he's trying to convince them like, he was gonna put you in the attic. Why do you want to go to this daycare, which we find out later, as we know, is a nightmare fueled. And I like the fact that, like, he doesn't, like, I like when we get there, he's not impressed with any of it. Like, everyone else thinks it's some wonderland, and he's like, I'm not saying he predicted, he just had a feeling in his head or something, like, something's not right about this place, I'm not liking it. And he's just like, what are we doing here? We're supposed to be for Andy. If you can come with us to college or whatever. He needs us, And even else, someone saying that he needs to. Everyone's saying to him like, he's grown up now. Let's move on. But I'm like, and he's like, why are you doing this? After all we've been through as a family and as friends, why are you being all selfish to me? I thought we were together, And he just walks away because he can't believe his own friends, his own family did to this, and he just tries to get out, and he needs to be for Andy. And how, again, like we see later in 4, he's trying to occupy Barney later with Forky, and that's later on afterward. But in this film, he's trying to keep the magic. He's trying to keep Andy like holding onto a rope. But then he meets Barney later, and then he discovers this whole new road that he could find. He can also help another kid who also loves toys, and helps to bring that magic along with his friends too. And like I said, it goes into the psychological. It goes into that type of element. But again, I'm not saying this movie is a rip-off of 2. I think it takes the set pieces and the stakes of 2 and takes them to a whole nother level. I mean, 2, they went to an airport to save Woody back then. Then 3, they go through like a little prison break, like Shawshank Redemption with Pixar characters, which is amazing. Funny enough, I just think that's just a cool idea. It has amazing jokes with Potato Head, and just it's brilliant. And I just love the teamwork of the group. Of the group, it's just brilliant. The way it's orchestrated, and just it's great. It's like something out of a prison movie. And I gotta say, like, it's great. And also, this is also kind of a mix of the original Toy Story 3 mixed with Toy Story 2, with the themes of 2 mixed with the original concept of 3, and then they milkshaked it. In my mind, they milkshaked it into the third movie we have today, and what we know now, with the whole theme of mortality and how to move on to getting getting like also with all Buzz stuff, like there's a lot of similar stuff. Him accidentally getting messed around by his head, and they have to fix him later, and he becomes Spanish mode, and he gets back to normal. There's a lot of elements of that, and they go to bigger set pieces, like the original Free had the Taiwan stuff that almost within it. There's a lot of big high stakes in that too, and even the villains of like in 2 and 3 are very much not obviously they're very different appearances, different personalities, different voice actors playing them, but they do have a very similar dangerous and evil ideology. I mean, Dinky was more of a weird ass manipulator. The other one was a straight up Fatso was straight up a literal dictator in a way. Like he literally was like a dictator in a way how you see it. Like it's just they are very different villains, but they're very similar in the way like ideology wise. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I just think it's just a very similar beats as well. Like as well, and of course the ending, of course, is just beautiful. The way how it goes from Woody finding Bonnie and like, I like this girl. I think this could be the next step in life, which it is, because these movies are about these groups. It's really about Woody and his friends slash family going through life like any of us would, moving from what like still keeping that original core factor, but just moving from place to place. And that's what makes these films so good and timeless, and how they resonate with us no matter how old we are as well, and what makes them not just toys, but makes them as humanly relatable, and what they need to be there for others, not just for their kind, but for humans too. Now they need to they need to be loved, they need to keep the spirit of people's imagination and emotion alive, and that's really good, and I love that. And I really like, again, this like the scrapyard scene is amazing. It's so intense and crazy, and even when they knew, like, I can't believe they let Lotso get away, because they told him to push the button. He just runs like an idiot, and I'm like, oh my god. Even the ending alone still makes me horrified. And then when the aliens pick them up through the claw, it's like the most triumphant, just hell yeah moment you could ever imagine, and it just ends so beautifully too. I mean, it's a great ending to say goodbye to a part of their history, but also it opens and it reintroduces, and it just continues and pushes to a whole new era, as we see later in 4, and then we're going to see the finale in 5. So you can see it's 2 different eras of their history, but colliding into one in a way, which I really like that too. And also I love that this movie is, again, it came out, like, when this movie came out, it was right at the time where they were just pushing into their, I can call it, the 2010s, as I remember it, was of course the sequel era, where they were just coming off this peak in the 2000s with hit after hit after hit, and this was like their second big sequel right after their second Toy Story. And then of course then we get is the 4th one, plus we get Incredibles, a Finding Nemo sequel, Inside Out, the first Inside Out, and then we get 2 more car sequels. And I feel like this was probably like the last peak gap of Pixar. I mean, they had their dark ages afterwards, but it's not like a terrible decade for Pixar, the 2010s. I just think people were just like getting at that time, because it was like Toy Story's back after 11 years. These characters we know and love are back, and they're back for their 3rd chapter. And a lot of people say that they should have like ended after 3. People said for years they should have been just 3 films, a trilogy's done. I know a lot of people are obsessed with trilogies. I don't, like, to me, I have my own head kind of what stays and what can't in my mind. That's just me. But I feel like there was more stories to tell after 3, and then we got it with 4 and 5. I know people have they have very much mixed opinions on the later sequels post 3. I think 4 is very underrated, and I think it gets too much hate. And 5 looks terrific. I mean, what they're doing, and I mean, they've gone up against crazy, like, they've gone up against very powerful villains for our heroes, but they're going up against something that's even dangerous. Like they gotta go up against, like, they built, like, they're fighting against powerful structures like this going up and up, and we're gonna see that in 3 with the whole iPad technology stuff. So that's gonna be really cool. But again, I feel like Toy Story does, again, deals with a lot of great feelings of like how to move on, coming of age. Like these movies are very much coming of age films, but with a mix of these characters and this family in a way, and in the most innovative and imaginative setting. And again, the animation is still great, the cast is still great, and it's just every time it's just always getting better and better. I feel like every film in the franchise, out of the four so far, they just get better and better and better. And I feel like this one is definitely not. It's definitely, I would say, it's definitely my third favorite of the franchise. But then again, it's still got some really good moments again, and still has wicked music again, the wicked soundtrack. It's just so good, and I like the fact that this is just, again, a wonderful sequel. It has wonderful moments, and it's really, really fun. And again, am I saying this is a copycat of 2? No, I'm not saying it's a copycat of 2, but I like the fact it's kind of, like I said, it's similar but different. I'm not saying, like they didn't say we remade 2 for you all because you're all big Toy Story 2 fans. No, we're moving forward with these characters and these worlds, and that's what I love about them. You build the world building and the character progression are great as well. You build more of the character dynamics. It's just so good in a way, and I just love that as well. I mean, I know a lot of people will say this is their favorite. They'll say 2 is their favorite. Those people might say 4 or even the first one. But again, this is definitely one of their brightest spots, in my opinion, in the franchise. So I just feel like this has so much good stuff, and there's just so much more. Like the moody color, like the colors aspects change as well from setting to setting. Like the Woody parkour stuff is one of my favorites. Him doing his best parkour stuff is great. Like he's one of the most physically characters in Pixar. Like he's just bouncing and dodging everywhere. Like it's just really good. I just get into these weird, wacky situations, and it's just so fun, and it's just so engaging as well. And there's just so much human core in there too. And I love about these films, like they know when to go, they know when to be serious, they know when to be silly, and they know when to do all that. They're again, like the best movies, they're a perfect mixture of everything in a way. And I love about these films, especially this one. I feel like this is the more darkest of the 4 so far. Definitely, like it goes darker than the others. I think so. But again, and I love this again. This goes into the Bonnie saga. We had 4 and 5, and that's great too. But I gotta say, it is just so much of a blast to watch again. It's just fun and exciting, and just again, if it's on again anytime, I'll still watch it and say that is still awesome. That is just wonderful, and it's just damn spanking great. And I just think it's a damn bustering good movie, and I just love that as well. And it really, the ending as well is so emotional, and it just, again, it paves the way for a new future and a new beginning for our heroes. But that's all I gotta say about my opinions on why I think Toy Story 3 is Toy Story 2.5 in a way that it's not the exact same. It's similar, but they're totally different, and that is perfectly fine. We take elements from the past 2 movies and we build on better into the third one, and then into the next ones, and then far beyond. That's all I gotta say. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe.